One of the best means by which we can evaluate members of Congress and our state legislatures is the Freedom Index of the New American Magazine. Why? Well, because it evaluates how members of the Congress and state legislators vote according to the Constitution. After all, this is the oath they take to the Constitution, so they're supposed to vote accordingly, but most do not. The Freedom Index of the New American has many uses. 1. It shows how your representatives vote. You can easily evaluate their performance based on their rhetoric versus their actual voting. 2. It can help you understand the various sides to any political debate. This is done by looking up the voting record of the various sides of an issue and the personalities involved. Many of you are aware that the mainstream media reports on just one side of the issue. More often than not, the media claims conservatives or constitutionalists are to blame. This then results in a compromise that moves the political scale to the left. Rarely does it go to the right. The reason that the socialists can get away with what they do is because the voters back home do not know just exactly what is going on. Even so-called conservative media doesn't always tell the whole story. It's time the American people stop believing everything they hear and find out for themselves what is really going on. The Freedom Index can help you do just that. 3. The Freedom Index can be used as an educational tool. Download the record of any congressman or senator and disseminate it among your friends and neighbors. In this manner, you can inform them of just how your elected representative actually votes. If your representative votes in the manner they campaigned on, the voters will be pleased. If not, then many of the voters will be moved to let their representative know that they're displeased. In the process, if the voting pattern does not change to the voters' liking, then the voters will probably vote differently in the future. This reinforces accountability. Representatives are more likely to adhere to their word, especially if their voting record is widely distributed. If they vote according to how they should, based on the Constitution, both the representative and the voter will be happy. 4. The dissemination of the Freedom Index in your area will likely be the only reporting in your area. Oftentimes, media outlets don't inform voters how the members of Congress or their legislatures actually vote. It's a service you will be rendering to your neighbors. 5. The Freedom Index does not take political positions. It only determines whether a vote is constitutional or not. It does not favor Republican or Democrat. The Freedom Index is a marvelous tool. It becomes extremely important when deciding who to support in the Congress during political battles. For instance, in the recent battle for Speaker of the House of Representatives, several personalities were involved. By going to the Freedom Index, you could see who would be more constitutional. For instance, the Speaker of the House at the time was Kevin McCarthy, whose voting record vis-a-vis the Constitution was 60%. In other words, his record was 40% against the Constitution. His main adversary leading the movement to have him replaced was Matt Gaetz, who had a record of 84% of a constitutional vote. The other 7 who sided with Gaetz had anywhere from a 76% to 100%. The 2 who had 100% were Eli Crane of Arizona and Matt Rosendale of Montana. On the other hand, there were also those who voted to retain McCarthy, whose record was high, such as Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia at 96% and Tom Massey of Kentucky at 98%. All of them had their reasons for voting the way they did, on both sides. Generally, however, the Freedom Index will show which side is more constitutional. It's the information the mass media will never discuss. Since the Freedom Index is published twice a year, we encourage everyone to subscribe to the New American. If by chance they don't, get them looking up the Freedom Index online at thenewamerican.com. I will bet that if you can get them doing that, they will eventually want the whole magazine. then they are only one step away from joining the John Birch Society for the rest of the truth and getting involved. We will not tell you of the voting record of the leadership. We leave it up to you to go to thenewamerican.com, the Freedom Index, and see for yourself. Get used to using it.